here you are back at the Bristleback Inn. It's a week later. So the last time that you went on an adventure was the 3rd of Beltane. I think I said the 10th last time, but I think it was the 3rd. And it is currently the 10th of Beltane of Simrod. That is what we would know as May. And you survived your first adventure into the mouth of doom, for some of you anyways, and you made it back alive, and you've spent the past week here resting, recovering, tending to your equipment, gathering information, and making plans to make another expedition into the dark wilds of the Forest of Hope. So, you see the two groups sitting here. There are 4 now. It's clear that, and actually there are other workers. You could take your pick of people that would be willing to march into the jaws of death for you. They see you all as heroes. This place idolizes you. And in particular, Caden and our brother Caden and Father Bloombad, they look at as like mighty heroes. You know, probably the tavern hushes a little bit, and kind of the tenor of the entire place changes as you all come in the night before, which would be the 9th of Beltane, before your adventure. It's evening time. Other than the different workers that you've come to know, all sitting around different tables, drinking, eating, and Odo Bristleback himself, who's actually serving at the inn tonight, you have 2 tables that obviously have adventurers. They have chain shirts and brigandines, and gambesons and equipment, and it's obvious that they intend to try to find their own entrance into Rappan Athuk. So, that being said, what do you do the night before?
Do we want to travel with them? There'll be safety in numbers on the way there, at least, and camping over the night. And we could, we could go our way and we could go theirs inside.
Yeah, if they want to come to the mouth.
Have you done detect evil on them yet?
I'm sure I would have.
Okay. Detecting evil.
Other Bloombed's staring really hard at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You sense in the hearts of these people that some of their hearts writhe with greed and avarice, and they might likely betray their companions. In particular, the eldest and senior cleric in the first group, but they're not chaotic. As in this world, again, chaos means like a combination of Lovecraftian and satanic evil combined. It is really bad stuff. And so, usually if someone is just nominally not a good person, they would just be neutral. And 2 of the people here are that. So, yeah.
Alright, and then I'll cast Detect Magic.
I think other than the items that you have on you that are magical, you do not detect any magical items in the tavern.
All right. Well, I guess I will approach the cleric in their party and ask him to step aside and speak with him.
Sorry, just real quick. Odo doesn't have the same magical stuff that he had last week?
I apologize. Yeah, that's a good point. Yes, Odo is clearly magical. Yeah.
I always try to avoid looking at him.
Okay, so you go over to the table with the clerics, and they say, Ah, and they actually rise and kind of bow to you, and the fighter, the hired sellsword, does it just to follow their customs. They say, "You are Father Bloombad. We've heard so much about you."
Yes, I see you've come here to fight evil.
Indeed, that is precisely why we have come, and to assist in your brave efforts here in the far edges of the borderlands.
Are any of the greedy people sitting here at the table present now? Or
Yeah,
were they with...
the cleric you're speaking to.
Oh, he's one of the greedy ones.
Mm-hmm. He's neutral.
Oh. Okay. How many are there? Two that you said might betray the others?
Yeah, among this group, he is the only one.
And are there any other clerics in the group?
Yeah, there are two others.
Okay. Maybe Caden, perhaps you could take the good father and show him our sepulcher here. His group, while I bless his group for tomorrow.
Yes, sure.
That would be an honor. He kisses you on both cheeks, and then takes you and embraces you. Brother Caden, I've heard so much about you as well. One of the great heroes of the Battle of Zelkor's Ferry.
Yes, what do they call you?
My name is Mayon, and I have led this group, actually from the Isle of Irene, believe it or not, from the City of Daylight. We crossed the waters because your tales have traveled so far, and
And Caden will take him to the church to show it to him.
all right.
What's your intention with that?
So I can talk to his group while you have him away.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay.
Just keep him distracted for
Yeah.
a few minutes. I'll tell them. I'll be like, they have also heard of me, right? You said.
Oh yeah, everybody's heard of you.
I'll pull out a flask. It's not holy water, but they don't know that. You know what I mean? I'll go around. I'll mark blessings on their foreheads. And I'll be like, be careful of the one that leads you, for he would not be true. He could potentially betray you.
Our Father Mayon? Surely not. No, that's not possible.
Light allows me to look into the hearts of people.
They look at each other with really shocked and disturbed expressions and are otherwise silent.
I just want to warn you. The potential exists. A shadow lies across it. He's not yet gone on to the other side, but the potential lies there.
We'll have to pray for the soul of Mayon then. One of the other clerics he's an older man with very short and a big wiry white beard and big bug eyes. He looks like he's had too much coffee or something. He's like, we'll have to pray for the soul of Mayon then. This is terrible news, especially after everything we've seen.
Tomorrow we travel out to the mouth of doom. You may follow us. Once we get there, we will split ways.
Oh, thank the light. We were actually looking for guides, in fact. It seems like it was appointed.
Yes.
The bug-eyed guy says. He says, my name is Brother Sarek. I'm one of the clergymen that came from the City of Daylight in the Isle of Irene, and this is Fionan. And then we've hired the able Garbhan here.
May the light shine on you. You ready to dawn?
And when Caden comes back, he's telling them about the battle at Bard's Gate.
Oh yeah.
Or well, but near Bard's Gate.
He seems like a really great guy. He's just laughing, and he's got a hand on your shoulder as you come back, and he's like, "That is just marvelous. If only if you could please visit us someday in Iran. You know, they say we have some of our own things you might find interesting there. Interesting there. We have. Let me find it here. The relics of Saint Karen there in Iran. And also, I don't know if you've heard of him, but Saint Orion as well.
Well, there's much chaos to fight here, but
Yes.
if one day that becomes clear, then I shall visit.
Good. Yes, work is. It's clear that you have your work cut out for you in these wild places. But what an honor to be among such august heroes as yourself. Says this to all of you, to Finbar and Magnus, toward the table. Well, he turned toward his table because he wasn't here. He's like, we hope to head out and find an entrance into the Dungeon of Graves itself, and face whatever darkness burbles up from that the hated bowels of this place. That's why we've traveled so far.
You travel with us in the morning at dawn.
Well. It's as if this was meant to be. You know the way to get to an entrance.
Yes.
Excellent. Well,
we'll get there and we'll go our separate ways.
He clasps his hands on the shoulders of Sarek and smiles at Sarek. Do you hear that, Sarek? Do you hear that, my brother? I know that this journey was it was well that we made this journey. All the risks we knew we would take, it's going to pay off. Sarek has this disturbed look on his face. You've thoroughly disturbed him.
Yeah, Caden's like, oh, what happened here?
Yeah.
He didn't say that. He just kind of looks like.
I would have already whispered in your ear like before we came over.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Anything else? Did you all decide on the hirelings that you're going to take?
We want to take 2 of our mercenaries to guard the horses while we're inside.
Okay. I'll go ahead and set this up now, in fact. So you're going to take 2 of the available mercenaries. And are you going to take all of your henchmen, or are you going to leave some behind?
That's up to everybody with henchmen. If you're going to say just...
Yeah, I'm bringing both.
I think I'll bring the thief this time and leave the dog behind.
Okay.
Leave him with the church.
Let me go ahead and set this up.
Still want her to get some experience.
Whoops.
Real quick, would we happen to have just a ton of spare spears lying around?
Oh yeah, that would be super great, wouldn't it?
I would love.
I'm pretty sure there are spears in the Hound's armory.
I'm not part of the Hounds. I don't know if it'd be cool if we just.
Well, we had 3 left over from last week.
We did have some left over from last
Oh yeah,
week.
we'll take one of those.
Okay.
Take 2. I mean, throw one and then.
Well, I was just gonna have one with the horse. Better weapon for mounted combat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would if I could use one.
Otherwise,
You
all
can
I have is
also
the
fight
hand
from the second row.
Yeah,
That would have been huge
it's
last time.
It's heavier than either of my other weapons, but yeah, it's a good idea.
Does this change how much you weigh, like your total weight?
My intention is to carry either the spear or the hand axe in, which will not decrease my movement squares.
Right. Okay. And who is going to
If I
bear?
were to take both, it would.
Who will bear the torch in the dungeon, or the lantern? And which of the 2?
I've been carrying a lantern.
Okay, I will set that up. So the plan is for you to carry the lantern. And then what is your order of march that you plan on having? Is it something like having Father Bloombad and then having like Finbar in a second rank and Caden? Is it like this and then having kind of Magnus in the middle?
Does
Maybe like
Caden,
that.
does your thief have a 10-foot pole?
No, but I do.
Well, maybe me and him could be in the front rank. You know, he could be checking for traps with the pole, and then I could be.
I don't know. She's lightly armored with 6 hit points. I'm scared to put her in the front.
Well, I mean, I'll like step in front of her if something happens. I just don't want to fall.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm taking fine traps, but I mean,
and actually,
only, you know.
you're saying like kind of as a thief, so she's kind of like this anyways. So the whole thing is this kind of delta, not delta, but like this, kind of like that. And then, okay, let me arrange that. This way we don't have to try to figure it all out when we bring the... Let's see, Bloombad, Finbar's in the second rank, Ahira's doing her thief stuff. And Caden... Okay. Alright, I think I've got that figured out for you all to have set up there. And then the last question I have is the arrangement for your horses. Who has horses, who's on foot, and do you have a mule?
I have a war horse, and my thief is using my old horse.
Is anyone not on a horse? That's including the mercenaries.
The mercenaries are on horses because we bought those 2 extra horses for them to ride.
Okay.
Is there one from Anakin?
I don't think we have that extra. We bought 2 specifically for like the mercenaries to travel with us and guard our horses while we're inside.
How much?
You need to buy one?
Yeah, how much for a riding horse?
There are a few horses left at the stable. I will say that is affecting their price. This is because I'm pretty sure, now correct me if I'm wrong, I think somebody or multiple people, like you said, Heretic, bought a bunch of horses, right? Like several horses were purchased. And
Yes.
I think it may have been at Bard's Gate actually with Alaric, and he bought like 2 more horses or something. So
Yeah, that was the lark.
I will say, right, actually, for now, that won't affect prices then, but any future equestrian purchases, probably the prices will have gone up by then. So, I'm sorry, what did you say, Christopher, the price of the horse?
They're 40 gold.
Okay, yeah, so I'll say that right now it's 40 gold for a horse.
It was like 4 weeks ago we bought 3 horses in one day.
Okay, so
That
yeah,
was like 4 weeks ago.
it's right there at kind of like, and at this point, actually, the prices will have gone up after the fact, but 40 gold for a horse, though. From Monacan.
Okay.
All right. And then there's something else that I was going to ask. I can't remember. And everybody's got rations and water skins.
I do.
Yes.
Oh, I remember what it is. So from last week, if you're not either a cleric, which you have your reduced cost that I put in the roleplay, I don't know what it is off the top of my head, or if you are not a Hound of the Pine, you should subtract 7 gold pieces for living and 1.4 gold pieces for every horse or mule you have stabled.
1.5.
I would
Oh, I
have
thought
had
it was-
to have slept in the stables because I.
Oh, I thought it was less for horses.
Hold on, John. Sorry. What were you saying, Christopher?
I was just saying, Finbar would have had to have slept in the stables due to blowing all of his money and some of Caden's money on a horse.
All right. It's uncomfortable.
Can
Oh,
we
go
put
ahead.
him up at the lodge so it doesn't get anything stolen?
If you want to pay for it retroactively and give him the money. Yeah. Does anybody have the 7 gold pieces?
I'll pay for him.
Yeah. It's, yeah.
Findar's blown
what was-
away at the generosity of his companions.
What was
Sorry for interrupting.
No, it's okay. What was really wild is early on, no one had the money, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, we got to find money." It was great. But now everybody has money, and they're like, "Oh, I'll buy you a horse," So it's cool. And then they're like level 4 and 5 and stuff. Okay, sorry, John. What were you saying?
I thought it was like 5 silver for a horse.
It's it's 2 silver pieces a day. So if I multiply that by 7, that's 1.4 gold pieces a week.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay for a horse or a mule. And then I gave you guys. You also have your dogs. I can't remember Do you remember the calculation I gave you for that, Chris?
It was going to be same as horses, I think.
I thought it was less than that. But okay.
Somebody mentioned last week that they would allow. I think you said they would just be sleeping in the room with them.
Yes, but they need food. So
it's the food. It's the food part. Yeah.
Okay, so
meat.
Or maybe you said 1 gold piece.
For the week,
Like for
yeah,
the whole week.
that sounds fine actually. Also 1 gold piece for your dogs if you have a dog. So, and the henchmen are paying for themselves right now because they're taking a cut of pay.
How much is it per horse?
1.4 gold pieces per week, or 2 silver pieces per day. The sun rises on the 10th day. Oops, that's the wrong map. Let's see here. It is slightly chilly to be springtime, about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. You think it'll drop below freezing at night. Without a fire, or tenting, but really a fire for the group, you know that you might suffer the effects of cold if you don't light a fire. There's a light wind out today, but otherwise it is fairly clear. And a beautiful, if slightly chill spring day. Where do you go, Father Bloombad?
We'll travel to the fallen demon statue and then head south on the road.
All right. I believe if everybody's has horses, but you have a mule. Let's see. I think you can get. I'll double check this, but I think you can get 12 miles.
I can leave my mule behind. Or does somebody else have a mule?
Me.
I do not have a mule.
You want to leave your mule behind?
Yeah.
The downside, obviously, to leaving a mule behind is if you find a hoard of treasure. And then it might have an impact on being able to get it out or how fast you can get back. But otherwise, if you don't find something really heavy that needs to be transported, this will allow you to get there in the same day, I think. I'll double check.
We have established that, I think.
Come on, PDF. Goodness gracious. I don't have my iPad now, so...
Technology hates you today, man. Jeez.
Yeah. Here we go. I had to find it manually, but I got it. Yeah, I'm having some technical stuff, yeah. Aha. 12, yes, 12 for mules, but if you leave your mule behind, you can go 30. So that's another 18. And you encounter nothing that you haven't already seen. Now, Father Bloombad, is there anything I won't reiterate the stuff that you've seen in the wilderness. You don't see anything new. Is there any of this stuff, like the wilderness, the building? Is there anything that you want to investigate on the way?
Do we see anything unusual along the way?
It's the same things that you've seen.
Okay, yeah. No, I mean, I would like to just get in there.
All right. Yeah, you make it through the forest and you do the switchbacks up to the top of the Mouth of Doom. The mercenaries station themselves outside to watch your horses as you enter. It is...
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
But weren't we guiding some people here? I just forgot about that.
Yeah, they'll send them towards the area we already plundered or whatever? Or
Yeah, actually,
we clear it?
that's a great point.
Yeah, sorry.
No. They do not have horses.
Oh, they don't have horses. I thought they did.
Now, there'll be no skin off anybody's back if you just tell them where to go and wish them the best, but...
Yeah, well, we're going to travel ahead to make sure there's no trouble on the road for you.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure.
All right.
It's a feature, not a bug.
We'll
Don't worry, this is for your
yeah.
sake.
Yeah,
Trust me.
I'm doing this for you. Yeah.
We'll tie bits of white linen to where you need to go, to trees when you need to get off the road. We'll leave markers.
Look for breadcrumbs. You're French.
Let's see. And you see the same demonic face towering above you in the black onyx steps leading down into the earth. The steps lead down, and you see the suffocating, old air that smells like the salt of the stone lays heavy in the air. Your lantern light flickers and gasps for breath to keep itself lit here down in the earth. And once again, you see a room that has these alcoves to either end. The door at this alcove is open. Where do you go, Father Bloombad?
Hold on. How come my map I started it in a circular room?
That's weird. That's super weird. A circular room. Your map. Makes no sense.
On
Alright,
the
well-
other floor, it was a circular.
Okay. We're on the first floor, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. Well,
Before we decide.
Wait,
Hello?
hang on. Sorry.
Sorry.
I just want to make sure. Chris, you do not see a set of stairs and all the tokens.
yeah. No, I'm talking about the map I made last week.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
That I cannot say.
Well, let's just hope for the best. Let's move on.
Okay, sorry, John. What were you saying?
I was just saying, before we make a decision, there was a place on the map I'm interested in checking out before we go down the hallway. It's in this room.
You've been here the most.
Yeah, according to the map, Kate says that there's a questionable area here.
In which direction?
Over here, it's one of the doors with a goat face on it.
Here, I'll just keep the tokens together. And the reason for that is that this will suffer from a lot of lag. So if the tokens get moved around, it'll kind of break down. And I hate that happens. But I will just also describe. This will allow me to describe the room for both Heretic and for Chris. So I will move all of you all together and just kind of describe what you see in the room here. So, Chris, you see a room that is now this should be correct. Let me double check and make sure that's not too far off. Yes, this room in total, where the stairs come down into the center of the room, is about 50 feet by 60 feet. Rectangular room. About 20 feet into the room at 4 points are 4 alcoves. Those alcoves are about 20 feet deep. And the alcoves in the north and south end of the room lead into doorways. The south doorway is open. The rest of the doors are closed currently. Actually, I apologize. This southeast door, at some point you all have opened that as well.
Yeah. Isn't that where we went in last time?
I think that's right. Yeah. So
And I would just like to make a note quick. That particular door last time we went through it really creaked and squeaked and was pretty loud. I don't remember if we addressed that with lubricant of some flavor.
I think we put oil on it last week, didn't we?
Okay. I can't remember if somebody did. That's why I'm mentioning it.
But it's still open at the moment, right?
Is it? Okay.
it is ajar. I think you would have to move the door to get through, so that's a good point. It'll take a flask of oil to apply oil to the hinges.
So we didn't do that last week? I swear somebody did, because I suggested it and I thought somebody said they did it.
Did anyone remove a flask of oil from their inventory?
I thought Magnus had extras.
I'm looking now, and I just removed one. So I did not do it last week. We talked about it.
Okay. Now, I'll move you all up together here to this alcove that Brother Caden points out. I'll pan the camera here. This alcove in the northeast end, it looks like all these other alcoves. It's about 20 feet by 20 feet. And there's a door at the other end of the alcove. And in the stone over top of the alcove is the carving of a goat's face with curling horns, narrowed eyes, and small fangs visible at the corner of its mouth.
So Finbar being a farmhand, this doesn't look like a normal goat, I'm guessing.
Indeed, no, this does not. It looks like, because it has fangs and narrowed eyes, it looks like some kind of personage, a person with a goat, with the face of a goat. In fact, if anything, I think most of you, if you take a moment to look at it, have seen depictions of demonic things or have heard from children's stories and nightmares creatures like this.
Hayden, do you want your thief to examine the area with the 10-foot pole and look for traps? Or
Yeah,
is there...
I think we've checked the alcove, but we'll check it again.
Okay. That takes a round to check the area with the 10-foot pole. And this is, I just want to make sure, and also let me move some of this stuff down. Ripley, I'm going to move Ripley down to player items. Gahira's here, Alaric's not here, I'm going to move him down. And everybody else is here. Okay. So this is Gahira, right? Gahira takes a 10-foot pole.
Right.
What is she? What do you ask her to do? This is her first time in a dungeon.
Ask her, will you please check around this area here with this pole to see if there's any traps.
She takes the pole and she's like, I just jabbed the floor?
Yeah, you just kind of poke around, see if there's any crevices or anything.
Okay. She takes it, pokes around on the floor, and then kind of catches it right in the middle between these stone slabs, and catches it, and it shifts ever so slightly.
Huh.
What are the odds that those are just loose stones?
Well, since we've already run into one pit trap, just like you, pretty much same size.
Yeah.
I will go ahead. Well, that kind of defeats her purpose, but I'll cast Find Traps.
You cast Find Traps?
Yeah.
What is the range of that?
Earth.
I'm not sure.
I'm open to it right now, don't worry. It's 30 feet, and it lasts for 20 minutes.
Okay. You indeed detect the deception that someone, these slabs put together are a facade of some kind. Furthermore, this door is some kind of facade. It's also a deception.
Ah. So there might not actually be a door there.
You want to take a walk around the room and see if there's any other traps?
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay.
Can I do that in 20 minutes, or?
Let's take a look. That would take a round and a half, which would bring us to 3 rounds total in dungeon time.
Yeah.
All right. Give me a second. 30 minutes have elapsed in dungeon time.
Yeah.
So you're slowly checking the area around here. You're using your prayers. You know, I don't know if you're using like a candle or what that looks like. You check these alcoves. You don't see anything here or on the door. You come to here, and you once again detect some sort of deception. There's let me move you all just so I can see. Oops. All right. You see on this this alcove, there's a wolf's head. A wolf's head carved into the stone above the alcove. And you notice something on the floor, some kind of deception on the floor. I'm gonna pan the camera also, and then I'll move you all down here. And the same thing is true here when you get close to this floor. You also detect some kind of deception there.
Interesting.
On the door or on the floor?
On the floor, yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
We got 3 floor traps and a false door.
Possibly, yeah.
Have you guys run into these false door things before?
I think once.
Well, when you say false door,
Or I guess
trapped.
some way trapped door.
The doors look fine, right? At this one.
Yeah, and I also want to mention this door, you also detect some sort of deception involved with the door as well here.
Okay.
When you say deception, do you mean like it's not really a door, or?
The way I would interpret detect traps is like, you know that someone has put something here with the intention of deceiving and hurting you, and you would know that.
Okay.
And
I thought you were saying it wasn't a real door.
You know that the door here and then back above you in the northeast area of that door, there's some deception about it that someone has means you ill. And then when in the case of all of the floors, northeast, northwest, and southeast, all of the floors have some sort of deception about them with the intention of hurting you.
What do you guys? What do you guys think we stick with our goat door theory that you wanted to check out? Open that one, or do you guys want to go back through the gold door or whatever I went through last time?
I mean, someone would have to disarm the trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's try the goat door first, I think. I don't know, I just feel like that one. It's probably gonna get me killed, but...
Okay, so you go back up to the goat door, you know, when you come here, you can feel... Now, how long does this spell last?
20 minutes.
2 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay, so you got 2 more... basically another round once that round ends. So you got like a few things you could do, and then the spell will expire. So for right now, you can sense that there's something wrong with the floor and something wrong with the door.
Well, I'm gonna try to lift up the floor panel that seemed to move.
Okay. You just bend over and try to find it with your hands and lift up with your hands?
I'm gonna use the 10-foot pole.
Use the pole and try to leverage it. All right, you take the pole and you try to leverage it, and as you've seen in a few places, that works, and you're able to and kind of like shift it off of the floor.
Ooh.
And there's a 15-foot deep pit there that would have caused a D6 damage if somebody had fallen into it.
Yeah, how do we get to the door?
I'll say that you can just be careful and go around if you want to check the door.
Yeah.
All right. How do you?
Can it be poked with the pole from across the pit?
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
Or is that?
With detect traps, can't you point to the trap disarmor where you see it? We've done that kind of thing before.
We put chalk down on the outline of a pit before.
No. When you were going through it, when you were blowing through, remember that one time we found all the poison. The poison. You came across this one cabinet where you were able to see, like, basically where in the cabinet the trap was. Like, in other words, point out to the thief or whoever,
Can I tell?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, couldn't you, so the thief doesn't have to also try to find the thing before he can try to disarm it, or maybe it would even give him, I don't know, help him.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because the way when we looked at it, you were able to actually see the trap in the mechanism of the lock, and even a cylinder. Like we went that far with the spell, and I like that. In this case, what you don't know tells you something, and that is that you don't see any of that. The door itself, you sense that there's something deceptive about the door. The whole door.
Can I poke it?
Do you? I'm wondering if the door itself has some sort of
Or if it's not really a door.
Yeah. I don't know how to put it in.
I don't have
the
detect
right
magic right now.
Does it have like a force field or something to it? Do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Does it have a handle?
It does.
It has a handle? Okay. Can we somehow open the handle using the pole?
No, I don't think so.
Maybe tie like a string around the end or a rope?
Well, yeah, sure. I could say you could try to construct something. You could try to take a metal object and connect it to a rope and fish it through and see if you can pull it. And all of that will take a round to do.
Do you want to do it or just go somewhere else this time?
I mean, we've already committed.
Yeah, let's go for it.
We're here, right?
Finish it up.
All right, you do that. It takes some time. You construct something. You put a piece of metal on it, maybe a weapon, and you feed it through the loop, and you get the rope back, and you all pull it, and the door flies off. And on the other side of you pull it straight off. The hinges seem weak, and on the back side of the door is nothing but a stone wall.
Maybe tap it, see if it's an illusion.
You tap it with a 10-foot pole. It's a stone wall.
The map revealed that because of its size.
Yeah, the dimensions of the map were making me suspicious.
And by the way, you can always use that. I do that on purpose, by the way. I make things weird on the map to see, like if both just to make you paranoid.
I just wish my map is not accurate enough for me to have been absolutely sure about that. But
my theory is that we were supposed to be like on the ledge there and pull that door, and it would have knocked us into this pit. That's what my theory is.
Now, I'm sorry, I misunderstood what you're saying. You're saying that your map tells you what your mapping is telling you, that it wouldn't make sense for there to be a door.
Yeah,
Okay.
when I say my map, I don't mean what I see on Roll20. I mean my piece of crap scrap of paper in front of me here.
Okay.
All right.
You want to take the other side while we're here?
You're who's the call? Yeah, I'm up.
Let's I'll put do we still have chalk? Because I know we used some before. If somebody had it. Is that Magnus?
It's not me, no.
Okay.
Well, do we want to?
Ink.
Yeah.
We still have plenty of time.
Maybe some monster might fall in the hole and instead of fighting us.
Your spell is no longer active.
Okay.
We're not going to get experience points for that monster that falls in a hole, so.
Just leave it off for now.
We'll check the other side.
Useless door.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm not the caller.
Father Bloombad, what do we do next?
So the southwestern door, you said there was a deception involved with that. Was it like the same as the deception involved with this one up here?
I'll just move you back here just so we can kind of look at it, but I won't count the time and the distance against you, just so we can talk about it. There's something about the door here that is, there's a deception about the door, and there's something wrong with the floor. Both things.
So do we just want to do the same thing we did up there, here?
Yeah, is it the same thing that we
Might
can't
as well.
see anything specific about the door?
That's a good question, actually. That's a good point. Yeah, when you, Finbar, when you look at this door, you can tell that similar to the alcove to the northeast, that there's this bevel, and then the door hinges look weak. That's the biggest feature to you that you know. The other hinges are these big fat iron hinges. That's what made them squeak. But these look like you could just rip the door off.
If there's two things Finbar knows, it's goats and hinges.
So I was going to try to lift up the floor again.
Okay, that will take a round. 2, 3. And an hour has passed in dungeon time. Let me take a look here. All right.
What time did we get here? Like mid-afternoon?
Yeah, about 5 p.m. is when you got here.
So it's about 6 p.m. or so?
Yeah. So you do the same thing with this floor. You can tell that, sure enough, there's a pit here. This pit is slanted at the bottom and is otherwise 15 feet deep.
Slanted which way?
Slanted this way. Well, this way.
If you're pink, oh, okay.
I'm gonna.
Does it look like
Sorry.
there's an opening at the end of the slant of some sort?
From where you are, I don't think you can tell. You faded out there on that. What did you say?
Sorry, I think I'd like to sacrifice a torch down the pit to see if it rolls into
right.
some sort of slot or something.
You do that. You throw a torch down into the pit, and you find that it does tumble down into something and disappears.
Okay.
Can I use the thing I made before to try to open this door?
That will take a round. Do you want to do that?
Is everybody okay with that?
For sure.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
You take a round and you pull the door off, and sure enough, same thing happens. You just pull the door off and you see a stone wall.
Tap it to make sure it's not an illusion.
You tap it, yeah, it's just the stone wall. Yeah.
I guess the door goes down through the hole.
Does there appear to be any hazards at the bottom of this pit?
You don't see any other than some loose stone and rubble and just detritus, but otherwise it just slants down, and from where you are, you can't see where it slants to. But when you threw a torch down, it just rolled down into something and kept going, and you didn't see the torch anymore.
And
Does the door go down there too?
Yeah.
I would imagine the door probably doesn't slide down. It probably tumbles down and then just like lands, because it's this big, 5.5 foot wide. It's this big, heavy door. So,
Shall we proceed? Manakin's getting impatient. Aren't you, Manakin?
What's the northwest wall of a door also?
I'm sorry. Could you say that again?
Sorry, what's the northwest alcove also trapped?
In the northwest alcove, you sense that the floor had something going on with it. There's something wrong with the floor in the northwest.
I just want to try to lift up this floor. And then I'm done with this.
All right. Do you use the 10-foot pole again?
Yeah.
All right. That will take a round. And this time, you lift it up, and then like you start to push on the floor, and then when you press it up, something falls from the ceiling, and it snaps your 10-foot pole in two. And there is now a portcullis that has fallen here.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
We would have gotten trapped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, to the north. Where now?
Was the southeast door we went through last time we couldn't go to, or?
Southeast door we did go through, and we went down.
There's a passage we didn't go down that way.
There are 2 passages we didn't go down.
To the south, I've been down the south one.
No, to the southeast. We went to the right. We went to the east through the southeast portal, and hit a crossroads, or an intersection, 4-way intersection. We went left to the north, and came across the pit trap, the rats, and the bandits.
Oh yeah, I think they were in the top right room. The bandits.
Right, yeah. From the maps, the map that looks like Jay's map, the passage across the way from that links up with the other passages from the south door.
But I guess we never did go inside.
So
I mean, we went and killed the guys, but I don't know if we ever searched it.
we never searched the room. I remember that we were running out of time. I'm cool to go back and search it. What do you guys think?
Sure.
Okay.
I will follow Father Bloombad into the depths of hell itself.
All right, let's see here. So you start heading back to the southeast. You go through the door. You make it to the intersection. And does anyone have a base movement rate of 9? Like have heavy armor?
I have heavy armor.
I have 9.
All right. Let's see here. So that's another round. And you make it to the intersection. Now, I'm going to help you guys out here. And even if my memory's false, it serves you. The way I recall this is, you actually did break into the room. And in fact, I see that it's opened. Now, we ran out of time at the end of the session. So we kind of montaged that, and we said, all right, you round everybody up, you prisoners and dead people, and you bring them back. So you have searched these rooms, and I'll just make sure that you didn't lose anything. You also got all the treasure from the room. We just did that kind of montaging it instead of like actually crawling through it on the VTT.
And those were each just, 20 by 20?
Yes. So this hallway, you can also always use the measurement tool. It should be accurate. It's about 40 feet long all the way to the end of the pit trap, and this intersection is about 30 feet wide. And then it views into these different rooms, and from there, it's about 20 feet to the room itself, and then through the door, the rooms are rectangular. The rooms are 20 feet north to south and 30 feet east to west. And they're all 15 feet high, but you search the rooms. The left room has a pile of skulls that you hit and scattered everywhere. The skulls all have a hole in the top of the skull. And the right room has a bunch of ratty and disgusting sleeping, like blankets and pillows, and you found some gold. You found like what little treasure they had, which wasn't much. Actually, they didn't even have any. You just got it from turning them in. You got a bounty.
Okay.
Right.
We've been to the south before.
Okay.
We're
So-
headed east.
Further down the east way, yeah.
All right.
And do we have a second 10-foot pole or not?
No.
It's not.
Magnus, your guy doesn't have it.
I got a spear. It's probably about what?
Let me see. He does not.
Okay.
I will say that you can use a spear. It would just, this is the fun thing, because I don't know what will happen, but any disadvantage a spear might cause that we don't know yet, that would happen, and maybe it's nothing. We'll see.
There would just be it's probably half the length, and the haft is wooden and not metal, like a 10-foot pole.
That's a good point. It's not 10 foot long. Yeah, it's 5 foot.
What?
That's right.
Is it
He
only?
might as well just use the 2 5-foot poles he has.
I don't know too many. I mean, not to be too much. Does it say 5 feet? Not to be too much of a stickler. You said 5 feet, so that's all that matters.
That's how spears, like a normal one-handed usable spear, is probably
to be very generalized, which is the general thing is more important than the particular in this case. One's a big long pole, and the other one's not meant for that. That's
perfectly fine with me. But if you're fighting from the back row, it's got to be more than 5 feet long.
Makes sense.
A spear, no spear has ever been as short as 5 feet in the history of Earth.
That's a good point.
Yeah, we just won't get much warming if we use that.
Yeah.
If he uses the 5-foot pole and we move a little slower, would we be able to work it that way?
That's right. We do have half of a 10-foot pole.
Ties your spears together.
So here's I'm actually going to make this mechanically crunchy, and I don't know what effect this will have. So this is the fun thing. I don't know. But to get a benefit of a 10-foot pole, you will need a 10-foot pole. Is it precisely 10 feet? And there's like the 10-foot pole guild, and they like measure it? I don't know. And it doesn't matter. But
weights and measures.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we should be careful at intersections because we've seen pit traps in intersections before,
but yeah, I think you could do that. You could just use a half of it, and you'll get half the result. Or if there is a bad reason that something is happening in 5 feet instead of 10, then that okay. So speaking of that though, at the intersection what did you want to use a pole for something? Is that what you come to an intersection? From the last intersection, the hallway goes down about 55 feet. And then it travels another 20 feet to a door to the east. And then it goes about, 20 feet to the south. I'm sorry, I said 20 feet. This is like 10 feet. 10 feet to the east. 20 feet to the south, and then it elbows back 90 degrees, to the west. And then this continues on 50 feet down to the end of this corridor here, and then you can see in the dark that it continues on to the right.
Caden, you and your group have never been this far before?
No. Not down this hallway.
I mean, I could cast Find Traps, but then we only have it for 20 minutes. What do you guys think? Should I cast it now or hold off?
I say now. I don't see any reason to wait. We've got an intersection.
I'll cast it.
But then once you cast it, we need to just sort of move along. So let's look at this door, and then let's go north, and then let's go south. See.
Yeah.
Do that.
We'll explore for 20 minutes.
The blitz, trap finding blitz.
I'm glad we chose the southern door the first time we played.
There is something, Father Bloombad, on the other side of this door, that with murderous intent, something constructed meant to hurt you. But it's on the other side of the door, and you can even tell that it's on the wall on the other side of the door.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's nothing around here.
All right, let's go south and peep down that corridor.
Okay, I'm going to make sure that you get the best result from this. So I'm actually gonna take a quick look at it and make sure that I'm not making you lose anything cool. It says that you can perceive magical and non-magical traps 30 feet. I love this game because it's just like you can see traps, and that's great. That's all you need. I wanted to make sure there wasn't some kind of specific benefit I wasn't giving you. Okay, so yeah, you travel 20 feet, and then you go 50 feet, and then you go probably make it about this far, and then by that time a round passes, and it is now 2 hours of dungeon time.
Was that what we wanted?
Wait. Sorry. I missed the bend.
Yeah, me too.
Sure, I'll take you back.
Well, if there wasn't anything there, I guess we don't have to see it. Right?
Well, I need it.
Yeah, totally.
For a second, at least.
Yeah. So from the intersection, that's true. I'll let Mike.
Did you intend to keep going down the corridor, or
Yeah, we're trying to make the best time possible to
Okay.
make
Yeah,
best use.
I kind of just wanted to go to this first elbow and look down that way,
Okay, so
and then I wanted to go north and look down the eastern hallway.
all right.
I didn't
So-
mean to go all that far because I said I just wanted to peek down.
All right. So you from this intersection you travel about 20 feet to the south, and then it's about 50 feet, to get to the west to where it turns south. And you look down here, and this continues on to the edge of your lantern light, all the way down 60 feet. That's how far your lantern light goes.
And I can see 30, and there's no traps.
Yeah. No traps. Yeah. And so I'll take you back. But Father Bloombad, you make it right here, back to the intersection. Roll a d6, please.
Rolling for you. Roll.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll a d6.
I did it twice. Didn't.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
There it goes. Yeah, I was lagging. Interesting.
Solid rolls, gentlemen.
Yeah, I think the downside is that you're probably complacency strikes. Fortunately, so it's not able to act as this happens, but just as you round the corner, there's something here. And you can roll a d6 for initiative.
Of the wire?
I'll point it out in a second. Okay, let's see. And you got a 2. It's going to get a chance to roll its regular d6, and it gets a 6, and it's able to act first. So you all round the corner, and let's see. And it's going to move. And so we're doing kind of the way the initiative in the book describes it here. So it's going to move. The first thing is anyone casting a spell? So you see this clearly undead thing.
Will turn if that counts as a spell.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys will do that toward the end after melee at the same time, but
Oh, it's close.
All right. And then you can go ahead and move if anybody is moving. But Finbar is in melee.
Can we move our own token?
Yeah, you should be able to if it
No,
lags.
I'm just asking because you before you've asked us not to. So
I see what you mean. Yeah, you can move it right now. I think it's okay. Sometimes in outdoor situation, if you're moving it, well, I'll tell you later. Yeah, that's fine. You guys aren't in melee. And this is cool. Caden, Rex, I'm going to say Rex does not take a full square. You can actually fight with Rex.
Oh, okay.
And you can also move Rex if you want, Magnus, because it's not melee. Finbar is in melee. All right, is that all the movement? All right, here we go. If you're casting a spell or attacking in melee, you can do that now. You can do it now. I really need more than one copy of this up. Let me see if I can do that somehow.
Oh, you said casting a spell?
Yeah, if you're attacking in melee or casting a spell, you can do that now.
Not great. Not a fantastic roll.
Yeah.
That is Rex's attack roll. I don't know what he.
9.
I don't know what he does for damage.
I guess 1d6 plus 2.
Is that correct, Ross?
Hold on just a second. You're asking how much the dog does?
Yeah.
It's on his. You can look at his his sheet there. It's got it on it. It's like D6 plus 2 or something.
It's not loading.
Ah, okay.
I'll try to load it again here.
Yeah.
No, roll 20 is being slow.
It's D6 plus 2. That's right. All right. I had to take a look at a couple of things here.
5 damage from Rex.
Okay.
As far as I can tell, it's not a set of hinges, so ain't no way I've got anything on this guy.
Okay, let me just check something really quick here. This might be crazy. Nope, this should be okay. All right, so your target number is Ascending Armor Class 11.
I didn't get him.
And did anybody... well, I'm going to resolve it. So this is for Finbar. It does a D8. Finbar, you take 8 points of damage. You still kicking?
What?
Yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
Nice.
I have questions, but
I think, let me 20 here. I think, I got a nat 20.
that'll do it.
Still,
Yeah.
still kicking with 8 hit points.
I'm alive.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, and even if you weren't, -1, remember? So you got a
Right.
con bonus.
Zero's
Sweet.
unconscious, but
Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right. And then did anybody hit that 11? We got Chris, you did. You got 3
I
points
did.
of damage.
5. You said plus 2,
5.
right?
Okay.
D6 plus 2.
Yeah.
I got a 9 for charming.
What does that do?
If it's a 7, if it's a zombie or a ghoul, it's turned.
A zombie? So if it's 2 hit dice?
Oh. Well,
Is
I
it
don't know.
so- oh, go ahead.
It says at level 4, a zombie is turned into 4.
Nice. All right. Yeah. So it flees, and Finbar, you can get an attack, and so can Rex, and so can Caden.
let me try this again, boys.
That hits for 6 damage,
And 4 more.
and 4 more. Okay. Finbar, describe how you, as this thing... So first of all, starting with Caden, you guys round the corner, and this thing just lurches at you, right? And it's able to act first, and it lurches at Finbar and just, like, knocks his armor off, and the big gash across your chest. You know, in the dark of the lantern light, this human that is missing part of its face, and you can see its bones and stuff, just rips a big gash into your chest, and then you turn around and you start like trying to swing at it. And Caden, what do you say to it to command it? What does turning look like?
He yells at it. Be gone from here. You foul thing, you harmed my friend.
Yeah, so you reach over down into the hallway and you raise your holy symbol and you yell that. It starts to turn. And Finbar, you take... What weapon are you using?
Spear.
A spear. You take the spear and you just stab it, and then Rex tears into it. You pin it to the ground. Finally, it stops moving.
I'm sorry. Did I hear you right? Friends?
Yeah, Caden goes over to the Finbar and puts his hand on him and cures light wounds.
Nice.
Thank you.
Let's see,
Father
that's
Caden.
1d6 plus 1.
Six hit points back.
Solid healing.
Nice.
I have the best friends ever.
All right. Sweet. So now you're just down 3 hit points. All right.
I know Gahira is looking really upset at her first encounter with a zombie.
Yeah, Gahira, she's like, what is that thing?
It's undead. It's a zombie.
Undead? Meaning something that was dead that is no longer dead?
Yes.
Oh.
It's dead again now.
It's back to its initial state.
Natural state, if you will.
She goes and looks down at it. Then the stories are true. This could be our fate.
If the stories weren't true, we'd all be charlatans.
She shudders and then keeps herself from throwing up and goes back into the ranks, into your order of march.
Kid pats her on the shoulder.
Yeah, I won't make a morale check for you yet. I'm just putting you on.
Finbar.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was to say, let me top you off.
Oh, nice.
No, have you guys seen it yet? Still says rolling for me.
Pretty
On
laggy.
5.
A top shot.
So that's it's D6 plus 1, right? So that's all your hit points. Sweet. Okay, so that is another round. So you have one more round that you can do to detect traps. Do you want to go down to the end of this hall?
Yes, let's go north.
Okay, so I'm going to move you all. This is where the lag it can be really bad because it'll show up for some people, or it'll hang, or it'll make it. So it's best if Anyways, so you go down to the end of the hall, and sure enough, you sense that there is something here, right here in the hall, that is wrong about the floor. Some kind of deception, some ill will that has been placed there in the floor of the hall. This hall, from the intersection, Chris, to this end, goes about 45 feet, and then it goes to the edge of your lantern light down this hall, but you can tell that after about 60 feet it turns back south. There are also, I should note, let me make sure that I understand this. There are cracks and chunks taken out of the wall in places here, where the stone is missing along the wall. There's an entire portion of the wall in the bottom left here that's missing. It goes back a ways.
Whoa. I can't see, this isn't the corner, you said?
I'll pan the camera just to make sure, and then I'll ping. Yeah, that's right. Where you pinged just then.
I'm not ping. I haven't seen it ping the whole game.
Oh. That was me.
I see a ping now.
Yeah, it's just laggy, and that is Roll20. Yeah, so I'm sorry. I'll describe it. Let me draw it actually. That way to make sure it shows up and stays. So along the walls here, there are chunks missing on the walls. There's damage in the walls. In particular, a whole portion of this wall is missing. Like the stone has been torn out of the wall.
Is there debris in the hallway, or is it all gone?
There's debris a little bit on the floor and stuff, but otherwise, no, there is not. There's not debris in the hallway.
And it just goes back into stone?
What do you mean? Could you say that again?
It's just stone back there behind it? Behind where the wall was.
Like it didn't open up into it.
Is there like a passage or anything?
No, there's no passage. So you have these stone walls, and chunks of them are taken out, almost like some battle took place or something, or
right.
And then, the worst of it is here in the very corner that you're in right now. There's a whole section in the bottom half. When you reach back, it just goes into stone, but it looks like almost soft, like sandstone or gypsum.
Should we search this area to see if there's something unusual going on here?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
All right. To do that, if anybody wants to like tell me something specific that you want to do, you can try to do that. That doesn't cost any extra time. But if you just want to generally search the whole area and be very thorough, you'll need to make a search check, which would be a D6 to get a 1. And everybody can do that, including the henchmen except the dog. So you can.
That's not what we're doing? Okay.
You can roll for Monacan and...
Monacan found something. Or, well, rather, Monacan rolled a 1.
Okay. All right. I'll also roll for... Okay. Monacan looks down, peers down into this section, pushes, and it gives in. And he's like, I knew it. Somebody had... somebody's put that there. This is just... the wall was damaged sometime in the past, but they've made a passage through here. And he made a little hole, and he points toward the hole. He's like, we could dig into this. There's a passage on the other side if we want to go through here.
Talking about just north of us?
Yeah, in the very corner here, where that big chunk was out.
Right. Well
I got a
then.
crowbar ready to dig.
All right.
How long would that take?
It doesn't take any extra time to do that.
Oh, okay.
At this point, the detect traps has ended. Just from after searching. When you take the crowbar, Finbar, and you punch into it, it easily just falls in. And you're able to make like about a 4-foot tall thing that you can kind of crouch and make it in. I'm going to put you all together so that it's easy to do that. Actually, let me see if I was smart enough. I was not. Okay, so. And you find yourself in this narrow passage on the other side, and you can see where the wall has been covered up here as well, in a similar manner.
Do you want to go through it too?
Maybe somebody should look for traps. We have 2 experts, right?
Well, experts. Sure. Level 5 thief.
I think they're better at opening things than...
Yeah, I don't know if they're better at finding it, but...
They're better than me.
Yeah.
They're better than you, right? I mean...
Maybe. I actually don't know both either in or out of game whether or not, I mean, you'd think it would make sense that they'd know a little better about where to look, but...
Do you want to take the time to search for traps?
It might be wise.
Okay. It's on the character sheet for, are you using Monacan because he's level 5? Is that why?
Sorry, yeah,
Well, I don't seem to think about finding
Yeah.
traps.
I see open locks. I don't see any special chance. Delicate tasks and traps.
That's it.
I assume that's for disarming.
Yeah, we can use it. You'll get both in this case. You'll get the benefits of both if it works.
Well, that's a fail.
All right. He does not find any traps.
All right, you wanted to roll that, didn't right? Or
That's
you
okay.
have to? No, I mean Ross.
Oh, Ross.
I didn't know whether or not Ross wanted to roll those types of rolls.
Yeah, and usually it would be one person. So Caden or John, don't just roll like
Okay.
Let pick what you want to do, and usually it'll be the caller or the character after you make a decision, and then if it's something like sneaking or detecting traps, I can actually make. I should be able to make a roll. If not, I'll use my tactile dice. But nonetheless, you do not detect any traps.
I say we go on through. We're here.
Okay. Well.
I mean, I'm not the caller. Just
yeah.
That's just what Magnus says.
That's what we're here for.
Exactly.
All right. Finbar, if you do the same thing and you knock down the wall, you easily knock down the wall onto the other side. I'll describe what you see here.
Uh-oh.
You burst into a room where there are some people that are surprised to see you. They,
Surely they weren't expecting this tactic.
yes. Actually, let me pan the camera here. You see a group of people here. One of the, some of them more peopleish than others. One of them has this like contorted, strange jowl, almost like a pig, but with a dark color to it. You can see that his hands are almost kind of clawed, and he almost has fangs, but otherwise it's pig-like. And one of the people steps forward and says, "Ah, well, somebody's come to take a look through old Rappan Athuk, eh? Well, you've come to the right place. No reason we can't come to an agreement. I'm sure that we can be of help to one another." And also describe the room, just for your purposes. There's several bedrolls, a table made from a plank of wood, placed over a pair of dilapidated old barrels, 6 rickety stools around it. And let me make sure there's nothing else.
Are those stairs going up at the other side of the room?
I am, let's see here. You see a door here on the east side. You see behind you is this weak wall. There's also weak walls and damage on the walls on the west side of the room, like on the west and southwest side. And on the north side, is just a platform. It shouldn't glow or anything like that. It's just a stone platform going up. Let me make sure that... Yeah, that's all it is. It's an alcove going onto a stone platform. At some point in the past, that was maybe some place for a dark preacher to, minister his dark ministrations to, to whatever happened in this room. But now it's just stone stairs going up onto a platform in an alcove.
How well equipped are these guys?
Yeah, when you look at them, and you only have moments to respond, but they definitely have leather armors, brigandines, gambesons, bits of scale mail and things. They have swords and scimitars and daggers and bows. They are armed. Some of them have shields. What do you do, Father Bloombad?
None of them look like spellcasters, right?
They do not.
Okay, tell them to stand down. Tell us what you're doing here.
Easy, friend, easy. There's no reason. This is this person here talking. There's no reason here and I'm gonna make a check for a 2 and 6 chance for something. It does not happen. Okay. He says, "There's no reason we can't cooperate and work together. People that raid these old tombs like us, best that we have enough enemies down here, don't we?"
I can think of a few reasons not to work together.
Yes, I mean, you live here. Type of person lives here.
This is just a temporary arrangement. We're here the same reason you are. Find the treasures of this place.
Live with the Chaos Men? Like him?
You point toward the pig looking guy. He's like, now come on. Just because I've got a friend that his mother may not like how he looks anymore, that's no reason to insult my friends now, is it?
Where do you come from? I don't think you're from Delco's Ferry.
We're from here, from the Pictland, from Eastreach. No, we've never been to Zelcor's Ferry.
I would like to surreptitiously begin casting sleep.
Okay. And what were you going to say, Christopher?
I was just how long have they been down here?
Oh, well. And he looks back. And you can tell he's genuinely curious and confused for a moment. He seems to not... Well, it's kind of lose a sense of time, actually. And you realize that's true for you. You realize that it's hard for you to tell sometimes, so you're not sure how long you've been down here. It feels like you've been here for a very, very long time. But as far as surreptitiously casting sleep, that will depend. I'm going to create a task chain. Somebody would need to create a distraction. You would need to ask them to, and they would need to succeed.
I'm going to try to whisper a word to Father Bloombad.
I'm already on it, man. I step forward and be like, I'll start asking them what god do you worship? You. And what god do you worship? You. Answer me now. I'll start pointing at them, looking them straight in the eyes.
Finbar would want to be next to Father Bloombad in that.
Yeah. It's they say the light, of course. What else? All peoples of Albion worship the one true God, of course. And he turns around, and because he can tell you're this holy, zealot, this crazy zealot now. So, you can make a wisdom save, and if you succeed, you'll have distracted them long enough for Magnus, you probably have to move around when you do this, like over here or something, and then pull it off.
Get my sheet with that.
Shouldn't Father Bloombad be closer to them on the tokens?
Yeah, totally. Sorry. Here, I'll move up, to here, and then.
That's a hell of a. That is wise. You're wise.
Yeah, not only do you do this, but you even kind of in your power to sort of command attention, you even kind of gather them together conveniently for Magnus.
So, how many hit dice?
Yeah. So let's see. They are all 1 hit die, all of them, except for the one speaking, who is 3 hit die.
So I got up to 7 1-hit dice and up to 3 to 3 plus.
They all.
I think that's what that means.
They all just collapse asleep. Every last one of them.
There. Now we can examine their intentions at our leisure.
I'll move forward and begin to disarm them all.
Okay, yeah, you gently disarm them, don't waken them, and you get all their weapons off of them. They probably still have their armor on, but you're able to completely disarm them.
Then I'll tie them up. I'll rip up their bed sheets to tie them up or whatever.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say wrists behind and ankles.
Okay, yeah, you do that. By being very careful about it, you're able to do that without waking them up. But you all work together to tie them up. Now this takes some time, quite a bit of time. In fact, I'm going to say that takes 2 rounds. And let's see what happens in the meantime.
Hope there's not more of them.
Nothing seems to happen in the meantime.
Well, how many bedrolls are there compared to? Is this accurate? 7, 8.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are fewer bedrolls. I'm sorry, there are more bedrolls than there are people. That's so clever.
Oh, how many more?
I see 8 bedrolls and 8 people, unless there's unless Ross has just accidentally told us there's more people.
No, I love it. Yes. Let's see. 1, 5, 6, and then there's 8 bedrolls. However, I will note that you did capture or kill a bunch of other ones, right? So.
Oh, these might have been with the other guys.
Do these look like the same as? I mean, I guess yeah.
Yeah, they look like a bunch of ne'er-do-wells that are.
We are actually not too far away from where those other ones were last time.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully these have a bounty on them. Say again?
Is this a door or an archway on the east wall?
On the east wall is a door. Yeah.
We should.
I want to have a look at this dais area here. And also, do these fellows have any collected riches of any sort on them, or?
Where you could either tell me where you want to look, or you all could take the time to search the room. Whenever you take the time to search the room for a full round, if you will automatically find anything obvious, but you'll roll to see if you find anything that's not obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got them tied up, so.
Everybody that has a henchman that's not a dog can roll a d6, an additional d6, and you're trying to get a 1. And another round passes. We're approaching 3 hours of dungeon time.
I got 2 6s.
Man. Well, Christopher Finbar there got a 1, so I'll tell you some things that are obvious. You actually find under this table near the barrels, they have chests, and it looks like these bandits have been stealing from people nearby, because what you see here, you don't think, for example, you're able to open the chest, you find 4 platinum rings worth a lot of money, probably 750 gold pieces in total, another 1,750 gold pieces worth of coins. These are things that are not the ancient, strange, bizarre things you found down here. These are things taken from people, from the wilds, that traveled through the Forest of Hope, probably the last season.
Refugees.
Yeah, they were once owned by refugees. These people probably robbed the refugees that were moving through last year.
Yes.
Probably killed them too.
Yeah.
Wonder where they came in.
Good question.
Yeah. Well, I think we have our work cut out for us.
So this right here is just a wall.
You said it was weak.
Yeah, so
weak.
that's the obvious thing that you find. Meanwhile, Finbar, you start checking the walls, and you see that there are these chunks out of the walls similar to the south wall. And there's a big one here, and you take your crowbar and you just go, and then this collapses in a place here on this west wall, and it's clear that there's a weak point in the wall, just like the south wall.
If you need hinges, doors, walls broken, I'm your man.
You can be a lockpick, a locksmith.
Yeah. My methods
specialized,
are
specialized tool. And okay, but there's nothing actually interesting then on that northern dais area there.
Yeah, that is simply a raised platform with stone steps going up to it. I'm sorry that the map designer made it glow. There's nothing
Okay.
up there. Yeah.
Dang it.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right. So you said so we now know everything that they had in their chests then, or was any of them locked?
Nope. Yeah, you're able to get into the chests. 1,750 gold pieces worth of coins. 4 platinum rings worth 750 gold pieces altogether. A dagger, a short bow, 40 arrows, a rapier, which is kind of neat.
Whoa. What in the world?
Yeah.
That would blow my mind. That would blow everyone here's mind if they saw it.
Yeah, maybe this is some kind of... I think that's, and maybe it's not a rapier in particular, but this is like the mystery of steel going on here. Like there's some way that does not make sense right now. It could just as easily be like a katana or any other weird thing.
Well, I mean... Yeah.
It must be from France.
There's Yeah.
It's a weird sword that's really
You
light.
could say it's like longer than it should be, or something. Like the longest sword you've ever seen.
It's very sharp, very long, and very light. Whether it's a rapier, katana, whatever, it's a weird sword.
Every once in a while in the Dark Ages, someone could make something like that, and if they could, the king who was their king would lock him in the tower, and that was like that's like weapons. It's weapons technology. It's this like state secret level stuff.
Yeah. This is a very unique weapon indeed. And I will say that, well, if anybody wants the rapier, let me know, and I'll tell you what you can do with it. There's a spear here, a scimitar, and that's it. Longsword.
I don't call
my-
dibs on loot or anything like that, but I don't think anybody else really here can use the rapier, eh? The fancy sword. Because the clerics are locked to blunt weapons.
So I'm going to make a ruling and say that this weapon is unique in that you can use your dexterity bonus as you would a bow, and you can actually apply it to damage, and it does D4
Dude, I
plus.
actually have a dexterity bonus.
Oh, what is it?
Can a thief use it?
Could. What's your dexterity bonus? I'm gonna go ahead.
I have a +1 to hit. It's just a 14.
Okay, yeah, this would be a D4 plus 2 if you were to take it then. And then a +2 to hit with it. But it's D4.
It
so
might be
that's
more
not a
pertinent
10.
for one of the thieves to take it, though, to be honest.
Yeah, alright.
I usually have Manakan using a bow, so Caden, if you want to hand it over to what's her name, that's fine with me.
Yeah, I mean, she's using a bow. Well, she has both. Yeah,
Is she
she'll
with
take
us
it.
Is she with us permanently, or is there a chance she might wander off
I think-
in between sessions?
Well, I don't know.
Depends on what happens. But
She
anyways,
fails him, yeah. My vote would be to knock down that wall and see what's there. We don't have a lot of time left
Might
Yeah,
be a
let's worry
treasure
about the
cache.
rapier later.
okay.
because we also have to march all these dudes back, and that's another thing.
Is that the
Yeah,
plan?
yeah.
To try to march them back?
Hey, that's money.
Alright.
Well, I mean, we still get paid whether they're alive when we get back or not, right?
Yeah.
Can you bring back
Yeah,
ears? How's that
They're
measured?
easier if they could walk.
Okay.
Well, that's what I mean. Do we have it? Like.
I thought we
Yeah,
just took
didn't bring
heads
the
back
mule
last
to
time or
stack
something.
dead bodies on.
No, we didn't bring. I guess we did. Did we get the bounties for the dead ones last time? I don't remember them.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I will say that you do get chaos points if you kill these sleeping people.
Yeah, let's bring it back.
Yeah.
Which you can.
Can I give my
That's
rope
not a
an
punishment. You
NPC?
can choose that, you know. Yeah, but you can assume that you can do that. Like, you don't have to worry about the details of it. You can work it out, and I assume you'll come up with a clever plan to do that. But anyways, okay, so you knock this wall down. Boof, bust out onto the other side. There is... I'll describe what you see here.
Thriller.
There is there are creatures, beings, people, what was once people, roaming around the room, and they see you as soon as you knock down the wall. There's also in here, it looks as if the wall back here is also really weak, and you assume that those bandits must have never went in this room because, yeah, there are these things in here. And there's also... a big stone sarcophagus. What do you do?
I'm gonna turn.
All right, you can
Yeah.
start with rolling a d6 to see if you're surprised. I'm going to pan the camera as well. And you got a 3. You're not surprised. And all right, if the clerics are gonna turn, any other spells? No. All right, you can roll a d6 for initiative, Father Bloombad. You got a 4. House wins. You're able to act first. So the first thing is, if you're moving, you can go ahead and move now. They just mindlessly move. They rush towards you. I believe that they are very slow, so they make it only about that far.
I turn 1 or 2 hit die, and I turn up to a white. 11.
So you turn everything up to a white, is that right?
I turn skeleton to zombies automatically, and then like ghouls are 4, shadows are 7, whites are 10.
Do you turn a ghoul?
I turn a ghoul on a 4.
A 4. So does that mean it's turned?
2d6 says them.
Of
I
ghouls.
got 2d6, this number.
11.
11 zombies, and then do you turn anything else?
Well, here, let me cut and paste that out of the returning table so you can see.
There's also another 2 hit die monster.
I think I turn as well if it's a ghoul. Or a shadow.
Okay.
Or white.
Okay. Well, something
Oh wait,
pushes.
that's level 5, sorry.
Yeah. So
Oh,
do you guys turn a ghoul? That's all I need to know.
yeah.
I can, yes.
Okay. All right. So you something pushes the lid off this thing, and these things flee to the back of the room and start clawing at the room, desperate to escape from the light, the holy light pouring from your holy symbols, as Caden and Father Bloombad come into the room.
Beat him down.
We attack them, does that break the turn?
Well, you all use your turn to do that, but now...
No, it does. Sorry, go ahead.
Now, that being said, everyone else should have moved before that, if you were going to move. So I would say that probably this is the turn then. And then, so the next turn starts. So you can roll a d6. I'm going to see a couple of things, what they do.
What about missiles?
Father Bloombad, you can roll a d6.
6.
All right, 6. Okay, so the next turn starts. And, if you're firing a missile or moving, you can do that.
Okay.
If we attack them, does it break the turn?
No, I'm going to say no. You can do it.
Okay.
Okay, I missed the missile phase last time.
I will say, once you enter into melee and combat with them, I'll give you a choice. I'm going to rule it this way. Either you can stay there with your holy symbol and like command them, and everybody can come through and hack them down, or you can enter into melee, and at some point I'll give them a chance, like to be able to resist it again. You'll have to cast it again. But
I'll stand here and I'll hold it.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
help him.
yeah, so if that's all you do, then everybody then they're stuck that way. I'm sorry, you said you fired a missile, Magnus?
Well, Manaka. Well, no. I mean, I guess if they're not, we'll just go through and do the hacking job.
Yeah, you can do
I mean,
that.
we'll all just join in on that because even Magnus can help.
Yeah, everybody comes through, and these things are simply just trying to flee, and you hew them down. Gahira has this disgusted look on her face. She almost starts this kind of like maddening battle cry, like almost half laughing from the horror of the things that she's seeing as you hack everything down. When you got 2 high-level clerics, you can do a lot with the undead.
Yeah.
I mean, the undead don't have a big chance against you guys, frankly.
We're the monsters.
Yeah,
And then,
for reals.
They
Okay,
never stood a chance.
so you hack down these monsters. I think that's worth doing, even because, frankly, you all could just turn again. It would just add time. To having 2 high-level clerics is tough against these undead. So, all right, so you hack them to pieces. All these dead bodies against the far side of the room, you notice that this wall here, all along the southwest, northwest, and west, has the weak portions in it, and you also have a large sarcophagus in the middle of the room.
I want to go back and look in the room and make sure our prisoners are still prisoners.
Oh, I should also note, that was actually a really clever thing to do. I don't think you intended to, because as soon as everyone crossed the middle of the room, everyone trips and falls, as there's this big tripwire all across the room. But it's literally a tripwire. It's not like it's going to set off a claymore. It is still 720 AD. But like they had set up these wires to just screw you up. It's clear that the bandits had put this whole thing, and then probably sealed it off to use to defend their headquarters. But because they were still turning, you were able to get up and finish off what you needed to do. Sorry, what were you saying, Bloombad?
I want to go back and look through the room to make sure our prisoners are still prisoners.
Yeah, I'll say that you were careful enough to tie them up, and how long does sleep last, anyways?
8 hours.
1 hour.
Well, it's not been an hour then, although it has been another hour of dungeon time, the third hour. Nothing happens.
I think, being what it is, we need to, whatever we do, we need to make sure we're back in that room before they wake up, because yeah, so
Well, can we send an NPC back with my 50-foot of rope to tie them all together?
you already did that. I thought we already did that.
Make sure.
It's okay. We'll say, you did what you needed to do, since we're coming close to the end of the session. You did what you needed to do to ensure they were not going to escape. And you were able to kill these things.
Let's take the time to search this room then.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm gonna check in the casket or the sarcophagus.
Okay. Do you just lift up the top of the lid?
Well, I thought one of the ghouls that crawled out of there.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. That's right. There was a body that crawled out, pushed the stone lid off, and just pulled itself out. You go over and you peer down into it. You see that, well, when you check the bodies, the thing that was in here has a beautiful gemstone necklace. You reckon it's worth at least 1,000 gold pieces.
Wow.
The sarcophagus itself, there is nothing else in this room, just that whatever that occupant was, whoever that important person was long ago, he has that 1,000 gold piece necklace.
Rip.
Now, don't worry about your prisoners for now. You still have, I'll tell you, I wouldn't necessarily always do this, but it's been currently 20 minutes. So even before they wake up, and you can send an NPC back if you want, however you want to do it. But, if you want to get some more exploring in, you've got another 10, 15 minutes of real time that you could explore.
Well,
Yeah,
let's search this room.
Yeah, let's search the room.
All right, everybody can roll a d6. Okay, so that's for
Gahira will be the second one.
Gahira. Okay, Gahira notices that this, when she taps on this wall, it collapses partially. You're certain that leads into another tunnel. Otherwise, there's nothing else remarkable about this room.
Let's break on through to the other side.
Wait a minute, maybe there's nothing over there. You know what I mean?
Maybe not,
Still
but
have a door on the
Yeah,
other side
let's
of
find
the
out.
bandits room.
that's true. That's true.
Maybe it'll be
this
another
is
entrance.
It's your call.
If this is hidden, it'll still be hidden next time we come here.
It could be
Right.
If that
another
other
entrance.
door, but if there's treasure behind that other door, it might not be here when we come back.
Yeah, you're the caller.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's do it. We go back east to the east door of the oblong room.
Now, don't worry.
I just-
This order of march I'm putting you in. Don't worry. This is just me putting your tokens together. So, you're not going to be stuck in a bad order of march if that's not your goal. Now, you make it back, so that's another. Let me look at the distance that you travel. You go another round passes. What do you do with these people? Like, do you just leave them tied up? Is that the plan?
For now.
Okay.
Until we leave.
All right.
I mean, they are tied together. That's the yes. You covered that. We covered.
You find a door here on the east wall. It's a stone door with iron bands across it and a big iron bevel hinged for a door to pull the door open.
We should have our thieves check the traps.
That'll be another round.
Yeah. Monacan will do that.
All right, you're 40 minutes into the sleep spell, so Monacan checks it for traps and does not find any.
I'll go gag all them also while he's checking.
Okay. I think that will wake. I think that will wake them up, but you could.
It's magical sleep.
Yeah, I'm just gonna gently gag them. I'm not gonna.
I don't think you can gently gag somebody.
Well, you might be able to muffle them though. You don't have to stick something in their mouth. You could just like it. What were the other word? I mean, I chose the word muffle, but I guess that it's like.
What's the exact wording of the spell? I think it's if you cause them pain, right?
The spell in Swords and Wizardry is not specific.
Yeah,
I'm
just going to make a ruling.
I mean, it says an enchanted slumber,
I think,
which is no saving throw permitted. But
yeah, I think the broader thing is more important than the particulars. Again, like how much are you investing to try to make sure that these guys can't escape and don't cause any trouble? If you're going to keep them tied up, use resources. Maybe try to blindfold and gag them, so they can't communicate and make plans and stuff. Take some time, take some resources, and then that's something that could prevent them from doing anything. So you do that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. During the 10 minutes, I'll use their clothing to
sure
gently gag them.
Okay.
Good hair check as well for traps.
I mean, you could, but it would be another round.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No dog piling. So, like, if you do like more skill checks, it's a round. Unless it's like, all right, we're all gonna check the whole room,
which we already did.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Well, someone want to try to open it?
I'll do it.
All right. Do you have your thief do it, or does Caden do it?
I'll have Caden do it.
All right, Caden, you open the door. You can see on the other side of the door, this hallway continues on for about 35 feet down to the end, and then it turns left.
Oh, so this door wasn't even locked.
Nope.
I don't know. I was thinking this is maybe a treasure cache, but it's not even locked.
You know what? This appears to be the only legit entrance into this room. This may be the way that they got back to the surface to go robbing people.
Yeah, or through that broken wall area.
That would require them to rebuild the wall every time.
Well, I don't know how long they've been here.
Yeah.
They didn't need it.
There's another solution. We could just ask one of them, right?
Yes, we could.
Yeah.
I'll go untie one. I'll untie him from the chain of chain
right.
gang.
Do you do the?
And I'll bring him over here.
Do you do the leader or one of the rando other ones?
One of the randos.
Okay. All right. You wake him up. Oh, go ahead.
I remind Bloombad. You do know I can be very persuasive. I nod.
Okay, I'll get the leader instead. Yeah.
Okay. Does he get a saving throw?
Yeah.
All right. He wakes up. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you? No. I think this is all just a misunderstanding."
Waving my staff back and forth.
Yeah. Your staff back and forth. He's like, "Oh, thank God it's you." Oh, thank
yes,
God.
my friend. No, I would never leave you in such dire straits.
I know. We look. Listen, friends. We should get out of here. I fell in with bandits, you see, and and worse.
Hard times for everyone, I'd
Yes.
say, and an understanding.
I think. Oh, go ahead.
Yes, my companions and I, we've gotten a bit turned around, and if you could help us by showing us the way out, we're going to have to turn your companions in, these thieves among whom you fell, for their bounties, of course, you understand.
Oh,
But,
yes, absolutely. Good.
Yes,
Good riddance.
Yes, but if you could show us the way out, that would be much appreciated.
I know a secret
Are there
way.
any secrets around here?
Yes, I know a secret way out of here. It's a long ways through very tight tunnels, but we've been able to go through in and out of it, and only a few of us died to gigantic dog-sized rats. But apart from that, it's been the safest way we've found, and this is the safest place we've found in this mad place to stay.
I see. It is mad down here.
What's the deal with this platform? Have you found anything out about it up there?
That platform, I know. There's just it's just a platform as far as I know. There is a other than the way out, we did find that there was a things of treasure and stuff further on that way, and he points toward where the undead were, but they're awful monsters there. And then beyond that, we found other people. We had to escape them, and then we closed off the area with the monsters to try to keep anyone from going through there. But apart from that, I do know of a way in and out of here if you want to take it.
It's to the east. Is that the way out?
It would be, and actually, let me actually calculate like how long it would take. It would take 2. It would take about an hour and 20 minutes of dungeon time to get out by what he's saying. It's all sorts of strange winding pathways, some kind of secret...
I think perhaps best friend, if I'm saying, suggesting this also to the group, perhaps we go out the way we know, and then we bring my friend back with us next time to show us that way in.
He's our boon companion. Why wouldn't we bring him with us?
Exactly.
I'm sorry, so you're saying not to take this path this time?
I'm thinking practically, and as the map maker.
We have 12 minutes.
12 minutes left in the session, so I'm not confident
Full
about.
of giant dog or rats.
Yeah.
He describes it even. He says that it's a very tight, in places, winding, narrow corridor that wasn't fully finished when the people initially constructed this. But it is some kind of secret and probably an incomplete passageway where they were going to expand, but has served as a secret passage in and out of this room. It circles this entire complex that's sunk in here.
So it is the only passageway. In other words, is what he's saying. Like it's just a passage to this room.
He mentions that he thinks it might lead into a couple of other rooms toward the end of it, but otherwise, no, it just goes into this room.
Okay. I'll leave it up to the caller then.
Yeah, let's go the way we know. But you know what? I will... anybody have like a piece of parchment paper?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
If you could drip a little end of it off, and then we'll shut the door and we'll put the parchment paper in the door. That way we'll know if anybody's opened it or closed it if the parchment paper...
Okay, I'm gonna subtract now, Ross, 1 parchment paper and then add a scrap parchment paper. So you could, like, how many times I can use it to rip scraps off.
Yeah, we just need like a corner, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good trick to keep using. So I want to figure I might as well hold on to...
Why don't we put a copper coin or something there?
Because someone will hear the coin hit the ground and pick it up. You're not going to notice a little tiny piece of paper.
Make a note here
Falls
for
like
myself.
2 inches.
Yeah.
All right, so you place piece of scrap paper to see if anyone has opened the door.
That's very creative.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think
Spillane taught me that.
kind of running out of time here. I'm just going to take
so let's rope.
You could probably explore one more passageway before you're done.
I mean, I'm thinking, are you going to have us sleep on the way? Because we now have several prisoners who are walking.
Yeah.
One benefit to this gameplay loop, there are some exceptions to this, but I assume you have a plan to make it work out, and you'll just make it back. You'll make it back to the sanctuary.
I think with a group of walking people, it'll still take us 2 days to get back to Zelkor's Ferry.
Yeah.
Do you want to open that wall?
Yeah, let's go knock that wall down. I mean, that's my vote.
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
Okay. I will take you all over there and knock the wall down. This is on the other side of the wall, that's why it's dark. And you find another weak place in the wall on the other side. It's low here, about 4 feet tall. You all have to squat down in this 10 foot by 10 foot area, I think it is.
Yeah, knock it over.
All right, let's see here, and you come onto the other side, and you find an empty room. Let's see here, just to make sure. Give me a second. It's weird. Must have. Okay. Well, yeah, there is an empty room here. The empty room is 40 feet north to south and 30 feet east to west. In the center southern portion of the room is a 10-foot wide corridor leading south and a diagonal corridor that's about 7 feet wide leading off to the southwest. And in the northwest corner, a 10-foot wide corridor leading west. There is nothing else remarkable about this room.
Now, I don't know how accurate my map is, but we should be about, I think, 60 or so feet north of the room we came in.
The original entrance?
Yeah.
Oh, this might be the southern passage. Maybe links up with it.
On the northern passage, the southern passage out of here, one of them should link up with that. Okay. A little more map making to do.
You want to go down there and check it out real quick?
I think we could probably do ourselves a favor by doing so. It's always nice to put the pieces together.
Okay, so you go down.
Our guy look for traps.
You want to take a round to look for traps? Is that right?
How far down? I can only see okay. I can only see a before.
This southern.
I guess we don't need to. That's pretty long.
Yeah, this southern corridor is about 30 feet long, leading to a door.
Maybe check for traps around the door.
Okay, that'll take a round. This is now the 5th hour of dungeon time. You check around the door.
That's another flask of oil.
That's 4 hours. Is it 6 hours?
Yep, that's 4 hours.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. You check around the door. He doesn't see any traps.
I'll open it.
Okay, you open the door, and this is in fact the last thing that you'll be able to do this session. Come on.
It is.
All right, you open the door, and you see it does indeed lead into the room that leads down from the entrance. You see as you open here. As you open the door and come to the other side, all of a sudden, these faces come out of the stone above and to the left and right of you, and they form into faces with mouths, and they speak in turn. You stand at the threshold of the Rappan Athuk, Another one, the Dungeon of Graves. And then the one above you says, turn back, trespassers. You will find nothing but death in these dark halls. And then the faces disappear back into the stone.
Yeah, don't worry, we're on our way out. We're heading out.
Okay, so next, so yeah, yeah, so we have put a piece together. My map is not terribly accurate, but not terribly inaccurate, and that's nice. Okay.
You make it back to the Bristleback Inn several days later. And you carry with you a large number of escaped bandits and criminals that had the previous season terrorized the refugees fleeing the fallen city of Eastreach, and indeed having murdered many. They now answer for their crimes at Odo Bristleback's justice. And you'll get 50 gold pieces apiece for those, and as well as a great deal of treasure, the 1,000 gold piece necklace, and...
I don't want to turn in my friend just yet.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he can maybe tell
He's gonna show us back to an entrance, hopefully.
Resolve that in the chat between sessions. Like, if there's anything you want to ask him, just ask him in that, and then I'll give you the answer. But yeah, you have survived another trip into the Mouth of Doom, and that's the end of the adventure for tonight.